What's up to everyone watching? Um, this video's coming out kind of late, but it's better to put a video out later than never. So I'll be breaking down this week or this weekend's fight card, O'Malley and Merab, and then we got Valentina versus Grasso 3. Excited for that one. All right, first fight, we got Raul Rosas versus Ori Keeling. Um, Right off the bat, I mean, I'm gonna pick Raul here. Um, Huge favorite. He's at a reach disadvantage, but height advantage of 2 inches. Um, REQ Lang will probably trains with better partners at his gym. Definitely more experience. Um, REQ Lang, striker. Um, Obviously, Raul Rosas more of a grappler. Um, Raul Rosas definitely more of a grappler. Very grappling heavy in his fights. Um, yeah, how many we got by submission? Six by submission. Um, everyone's picking Raul Rosas here. Um, I think Raul Rosas will definitely have the grappling advantage. Um, RQ Lang should have the striking advantage. Maybe, I don't know. I'm curious on who has the strength advantage here. Probably RQ Lang since he's a grown man, but it's interesting on how he'll be able to defend the takedowns from Raul Rosas. Um, I mean, not too many good wins here by RQ Lang. Um, yeah, I definitely see Raul Rosas winning this one, either by decision or submission. Obviously, his only loss coming to Christian Rodriguez, who also took Bulgarian's undefeated record. Um, Yeah, in this matchup, you can give me RQ Lang. I mean, not RQ Lang, excuse me. Give me Raul Rosas by decision or submission. I don't see him knocking RQ Lang out. Next fight, we got Joshua Van versus Edgar Chairez. Van just lost to Charles Johnson. Um, and Chairez coming off that submission win against I think Lacerda, right? Yeah, Daniel Lacerda. Um, Honestly, I'm gonna pick Chairez here as a dog. Um, has the reach advantage by 7 inches, height advantage by 2 inches. As we saw at Van's last fight, it was harder for him to deal with Charles Johnson, who I think had the reach advantage and height advantage on him. Yeah. So this should definitely play out as a stand-up fight. Um, Obviously, Chavez probably doesn't have one of the best looking records, but he can get it done on the feet and on the ground, as you see. Van's definitely more of a stand-up fighter. Um, I'm gonna pick Chavez here because he can, as as I've seen, he can win almost everywhere. I mean, honestly, I think Van might probably will have the better striking, but 6 years older, definitely the more experienced fighter Chavez is. So I'll pick Chavez here by decision. Next fight we got Jasmine Jorge versus Caitlin Souza. Um, Jorge lost. Who she lose to? Denise Gomes, and before that she was undefeated, and she was a heavy favorite in that Gomes fight too. Um, Jorge's still a good prospect for the strawweights. She'll have just a 1 inch reach advantage. Should play out as a stand up fight here. Um, Sosa. coming from Brazil. Not that many submissions though. More definitely more of a striker. So this fight should play out on the feet. Um, Her only UFC loss coming to Karine Silva, who's really good prospect. Um, Probably Souza will probably have the edge and experience here in this fight, but I think Yasmin Horigi is just better. Um, yeah, I think she's better, honestly. Everywhere. On the ground, standing up, um, and probably will be the stronger striker here. Yeah. I mean, no wins by submission because she gets all of her work done on the feet, but I think she should be better everywhere here. If Souza does try to shoot takedowns, I mean, Yasmin should be able to defend and keep it a standing fight. So give me Yasmin Horigi by decision. The next fight is really good fight. We got Ignacio Bahamondes versus Manuel El Loco Torres. Everyone picking Torres here. I am too. Um, big Torres fan here. Um, he has great striking, but also he can get down the ground, as we saw in his last fight. He's piecing Chris Duncan up and then ended up choking him out. But I think Torres would definitely rather fight on the feet, but he's willing to get it done however he has to. And Bahamondes, I would definitely say more of a striker, but yeah, only one submission. Um, this fight should play out on the feet, should be a 3 round striking battle. I mean, Bahamondes throws like a lot of unorthodox strikes, like the spinning wheel kick and stuff like that. So, I mean, he does train. Pretty sure he trains with Bilal. Um, he's a tall fighter, 6'3". He trains with Rodriguez too. But I've seen him train with Bilal recently. 6'3". Let me see how tall Torres is. So Torres will be at a reach and height disadvantage here. But I mean, Bahamondes, the way that he fights, very technical striker. I mean, he wants to just kind of outpoint you. But we've seen him like kind of be behind in some of his fights and have to really put on the pressure and turn it around to get his wins. Um, Torres, on the other hand, is a scrappy fighter, but also pretty technical. Um, I think Torres is just better everywhere, honestly. Better chin, better cardio, better grappling, and better striking. So, um, although he's at a reach and height disadvantage, I'll be picking Torres here. I could see him winning by decision if it stays on the feet, but if Bahamondes ends up like getting tired, I could see Manuel Torres getting a finish by knockout or submission, either one. I mean, he's good. He's really good prospect to be looking at for the lightweights. Next fight, this should be a pretty good fight too for the women's what is this? This 135, right? Yeah, 135. Um, we got Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. I like both fighters, honestly. Um, Split picks here. Um, Everyone starting to lean towards Dumont. Um, Dumont will definitely have the grappling edge. Aldana, as we know, is a really good boxer. Her last loss coming to the I mean, still the champ to me, honestly. Amanda Nunes. Um, Holly Holm, former champ. Pennington, current champ. So not that bad of losses for Aldana, but we've seen her slack in the grappling department. And she'd definitely rather keep her fights standing up on the feet. That's how she gets a lot of her work, all of her work done, really. Um, but what worries me is her weight cut because I've seen her have look like she had some bad weight cuts before. But Dumont will be at a reach and height disadvantage in this one. Um, only a 1.5 inch for the reach and 2 inches for the height. Her last fight against Jermaine Durandamy, um, Durandamy was kind of starting to piece her up. And then we saw Dumont really use her grappling. We saw her piece up Chelsea Chandler and made her run away towards the other side of the octagon. I was there to watch her fight Danielle Wolf, and she kind of pieced up Wolf too in that fight. Carol Hossa, that's a good, pretty decent win. Um, who else did I watched Aldana fight somebody in person too? Who was that? Oh yeah, this fight. Oh yeah, so this fight against Chasson. Um, I mean, in this matchup, I could definitely see it playing out kind of like how Norma's few last fights have played out. I mean, if Norma feels like that her opponent's a better striker than her and she could lose on the feet, she's gonna start using her grappling and using takedowns and things like that. I mean, we see two submissions and all by the rest by decision. So I could see Aldana. I can This is a 50-50 fight. I mean, I could see Aldana just piecing up um Dumont for 3 rounds, or Dumont's gonna take Aldana down for 3 rounds and get a decision win. I mean, this is a 50-50 fight. It just depends on whether Aldana can defend the grappling from Dumont. Um I'll pick Dumont here just because she's been on a little run. I mean, beating everybody by decision is not too crazy, but I mean, we see that she knows her path to victory. And yeah, so I'll take Dumont here. I mean, Aldana does probably have the better training partners with Lopez and the champ Grasso, and Lupe Godinez, but she's definitely the more experienced fighter too, Aldana. But I'll pick Dumont here. I think her grappling would just be too much for Aldana. So yeah, give me Dumont by decision. Next fight, it should be a really good fight too. I mean, this card is maybe not having that many fights, but the quality of fights should be pretty good. So I'm excited for this card. Next fight, we got Ronaldo Rodriguez, Lazy Boy versus Ode Osborne. Um, Osborne, big reach advantage here in this one. I mean, Osborne could definitely fight at 135 if he wanted to. He definitely, I mean, Ode Osborne has more experience in the UFC, most definitely. But I mean, we see him get finished a couple times. Manel Cops won. I mean, Jafel Filio, Almabayev, Asu, the Kazakhstani guy, um, got knocked out by Tyson Nam, who I don't even think is in the UFC anymore, is he? Um, I mean, it was split win over Charles Johnson. I thought Johnson won that fight, but it is what it is. Um, I mean, not that many good aging wins for Ode Osborne. Um, I mean, I think Lazy Boy will definitely have the advantage grappling here. Ode will probably have the advantage on the feet, if you ask me, in this fight, especially with the what is that, a 8-inch reach advantage. Um, Everyone picking Ronaldo here, but I mean the line doesn't say that. I mean, the line says that Ronaldo is barely supposed to win, so. I wouldn't be surprised if Ode won this fight, but I mean, um, Lazy Boy is a good prospect for the flyweights, but I mean, he's only got one win in the UFC. He hasn't really fought that many experienced fighters, so um, Ode should have the edge in experience and striking advantage in this fight. Uh, Lazy Boy will have the grappling edge. So his path to victory is by using his grappling, and I could honestly see him getting a submission. Um, I've just seen Osborne struggle too much in the octagon to pick him, honestly. And two fights scared. I mean, both by getting submitted. So, and we know that Ronaldo's path to victory is by grappling. But I mean, he can get it done by knockout too. He's shown that. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Lazy Boy gets a finish, really, however, knockout or submission. So yeah, give me Lazy Boy here. I'll pick him by submission, round two or three. Next fight, it should be a good striking battle right here too. You got Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovic. Ribovic coming off that crazy knockout win over Terrence McKinney. Um, and then Zellhuber, I think he fought who did he fought? Christos Giagos? Oh no. Okay, Francisco Prado. Um, I think wasn't. I think I might have been there for when he fought Giagos. Was that this was the first Noche UFC, right? Yep. Okay, I was there for that. That was a good fight. Um, Obviously this will be a striking battle here. Um, Hevovic, he's got seven by knockout, five by submission. Lost to Loic Rajabov, who's I don't want to say a bad loss. I watched that fight. Wasn't that bad of a fight. I was there for that one actually. Um, I mean, this will definitely be a strike. I'm gonna see who has the advantage for the height and the reach. I think Huber should have both. Yeah. Okay. 8-inch reach advantage for Huber. Couple inch height advantage for Huber also. Both only have one loss. I mean, this is a close fight. You got 51 versus 50 here. Um, I think Hebovich might have more fights in the UFC now. Okay, he's got three, maybe not. No, Huber has more, most definitely. Okay, so four, 3-4. And that loss coming to Trey Ogden, who honestly is beating a lot of guys, honestly. So I wouldn't say a terrible loss. It's not a terrible loss to lose to Trey Ogden, but that was a really weird fight. It looked like Zell Huber did not go in that fight. But ever since that fight, it looks like he learned his lesson that he has to push the pace and try to get a finish. So, um, or at least bring the fight to other people. He's got good wins. I mean, Leno Venata, experienced fighter. So is Krista Giagos. Hebovich beating Terrence McKinney, who's honestly pretty predictable fighter. And then he's got a win over Camila Kirk. Not that good of a win. Um, but this should be a fight that's played out on the feet. Honestly, I feel like if Hebovich wants to win, he'll have to use his grappling. Kind of tires Huber out. But I see them just striking for 3 rounds, honestly. And Huber is definitely the more technical striker, flashy striker compared to Hebovich. So, yeah, you can give me Huber here by decision or knockout, like rounds like two or three. I could see him getting a late knockout. This is a really good fight. Really good fight. We got Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez coming off that win against Dan Ige, that like what it was like an hour notice fight or something like that, couple hour notice fight when Ortega pulled out. Um Ortega's coming off that crazy comeback win against Yair Rodriguez. And honestly, I thought Ortega was cooked that last fight. I thought he was done. And props to him for coming back because that was a crazy fight. I feel like in this fight, this is a well evenly matched fight, if you ask me, honestly. I mean, I'd say that Lopez should win, but it's gonna be closer than the odds say. It's not like Lopez is a huge favorite, but at the same time, um books do have Lopez winning. Um Two jiu-jitsu guys, honestly. I mean, we've seen Lopez use a lot of his striking in his fights, um, UFC fights, but he's definitely more, I would say more of a jiu-jitsu guy. His grappling is better than his striking. Um, 12 12 wins by submission. He's got 10 by knockout. I mean, he shows like we've seen him fight crazy fights. He puts the pressure on everyone he fights and walks them down, tries to knock them out, honestly. And then if they try to take him down or grapple with him, he tries to submit them. So, um, I mean, he's got pretty good wins. Dan Ige, even though it's a really late notice, it's a good win to beat Dan Ige and good win over Sadiq Yusuf. Only lost the cream of the crop. I mean, Movsar Evloev, that's not a bad loss. Um, Movsar should be fighting for the belt pretty soon. Um, but yeah, Lopez definitely more of a grappler. I would say better a grappler than he is a striker. And it's kind of the same thing with Ortega. I mean, we've watched T City for a long time, and T City, he got to his rise by grappling, he's submitting everybody with his crazy jujitsu. I mean, he was 13 and 0 and then got stopped by Max Holloway. Ortega really tough. Like he's not going to give up on himself. I mean, we saw him almost out of that fight with Yair, and he came back and won it. Um, and also in the Volk fight, I mean, Ortega was kind of getting beat up, but I mean, he still almost finished Volk with a couple submissions. So he's never going to give up on himself. This should be fight of the night, honestly. Um, without even watching it, I mean, I can already say this is probably the fight of the night right here. We got two guys who are going to walk each other down. Um, that are going to be ready to grapple, strike on the feet, wherever it goes, they're going to be ready. Um, honestly, I feel like Ortega might have a slight edge in grappling, but Lopez might have the slight edge in striking since he uses his striking more. He has no problem striking with anybody. Um, Ortega's striking has improved. I mean, as we saw against when he came back against Korean Zombie, kind of pieced up. He pieced up Korean Zombie bad, but I mean, obviously that's not prime Korean Zombie, but that's still a pretty decent win. Knocked out Frankie Edgar. Um, I mean, we just seen his striking not be good enough. I mean, like losses against Volk definitely got outclassed by Max, but I mean, these are not bad losses. These are all losses to two champions and an interim champ, so not bad losses for Ortega. Um, I feel like if this fight goes to the ground, yeah, like I said, Ortega should have the slight edge, honestly. Lopez has more fights, but Ortega definitely has more experience in the UFC, like way more experience fighting high level fighters. I mean, these are all great fighters here. I don't want to say too great. I mean, Renato Moicano, good win. Cub Swanson, good win. Frankie Edgar, former champ, good win. Um, some of these wins a little outdated. Diego Brandao, Clay Guida. I mean, not a terrible win, but also it's Clay Guida. I mean, um, yeah, so I could see Ortega having the slight grappling edge in this fight, just because that's more of his path to victory in all of his fights is he's gonna submit somebody, not really gonna knock them out. I mean, four, so eight by submission. How much did Lopez have? 12? Yeah, 12. Okay. So, even though Lopez does have more submissions, I'm gonna say that Ortega will have the grappling edge slightly. As we see here, 3.5 reach advantage for Lopez, 3 inch height advantage. Um, I feel like this could be okay. So more people picking Lopez than Ortega, most definitely. But we got number 6 versus number 8 here. This if Lopez wins this fight, he's getting a title shot for sure. He's going to be getting a title shot without a doubt. I mean, after I think Ilya beats Max. Honestly, this is Lopez's fight to win and get a title shot, but also you got Movsar fighting Aljo. So, I mean, I think, but also, I mean, if Ortega wins this fight, I don't really, I mean, this, I guess he's one win closer to a title fight, but I can't really see him fighting for a title anytime soon. I mean, this is Lopez. Lopez is in his prime. I mean, but I mean, it's not like Ortega's that old and washed, honestly, if you ask me. Obviously, he hasn't looked the greatest in his last fights, getting this quick shoulder injury. And then, I mean, he was kind of getting pieced up by Yair, and then he came back. So he hasn't looked the best, but I mean, Ortega's still a really high level fighter, if you ask me. Like, he's high level. I think at this point in his career, he's kind of like a gatekeeper, like a high level gatekeeper. But so yeah, I'll pick Lopez here because I could see like I think he should have the better striking than Ortega, and should be able to defend grappling exchanges from Ortega as well. So um, this should be a fight that's played out on the ground and on the feet. But I see Lopez negating all that Ortega has to offer on the ground, and I wouldn't be surprised if Lopez gets a finish here, either by submission or knockout. It's going to be hard to submit Ortega, but if Lopez puts the pressure on Ortega and walks him down like he does everybody else, Ortega should probably get tired, and yeah, Lopez should be able to find a finish. So I'll take Lopez here by TKO or submission, rounds like two or three. Another great fight. I mean, I wish I could be here to watch this one. I was there for the first two in person. First one was at UFC 285, Jones versus Gane, and then obviously their next fight was a draw at the first Noche UFC event in Las Vegas, which was honestly probably one of my favorite fights I've ever seen in person. But yeah, we got Grasso versus Shevchenko. Um, Shevchenko getting a little bit older. I mean, 36. I wouldn't say Valentina's in her prime anymore. Definitely not. Not the Valentina that I used to watch. She's become a little bit slower. Um, she'll definitely have the experience edge in this fight. That's without a fact. Um, Valentina more of a technical striker using more kicks, um, knees, elbows. Grasso more of a boxer. Um, And then, I mean, as we saw, she knocked Valentina down her last fight. I was going crazy. Um, because everyone in the arena was rooting for Grasso, and I was like one of the only people rooting for Shevchenko. But I mean, Grasso really good boxing, and I feel like people sleep on her power. I mean, she's strong. When she hits somebody clean, like they're stunned, they're rocked. Um, Obviously, she puts the pressure on fighters. She likes to walk them down and box with them. And I feel like besides Valentina, honestly, she's probably one of the best, if not the best boxer, like striker in the for flyweights. I mean, obviously we got Manon Fior, who's I love to watch, one of my favorite fighters. But I feel like if you talk about strictly boxing, Grasso probably has the best. Um, I mean, they've been in close fights, both of the fights. I mean, obviously Grasso finished Shevchenko in the first one, but it was, I mean, some would say, honestly, last fight, I thought Valentina won, should have won at least. Their first fight, obviously Grasso won, and I think that was because of a lapse of it was like a mental lapse from Shevchenko. I mean, getting too comfortable. Sometimes I've seen Shevchenko get too comfortable and kind of like lose rounds that she doesn't have to lose. She could be winning if she just kept doing what made her successful, and that's just staying on the outside, um, and not getting in too many like dog fights with other girls. Like keep it technical, but that's sometimes I've seen her have like a mental lapse and kind of slow down and get too comfortable, which she paid the price for in the first fight with Grasso. Um, I know the first fight everyone had Valentina. Everyone was picking Valentina. Um, yeah, 93%. And then second fight was probably closer to us. Yeah, so everyone picked not everyone, but 60-40 for Shevchenko. And I feel like in this fight, everyone's gonna be picking Grasso. Yeah, okay, so almost the opposite of what it was last for the last fight. Valentina's the more technical striker in this matchup for sure. Honestly, I feel like we'll have the grappling edge. I mean, we've seen her take Grasso down plenty of times. Um, but I mean, it's not like Grasso's a slouch on the ground. I mean, she can grapple too. She trains with Diego Lopez and Aldana. So, I mean, Lopez is some of the probably the best grappling for flyweights that I've seen. I mean, not flyweights, featherweights, excuse me. And I mean, Lupi Godinez is a great wrestler. So, it's not like Grasso's bad on the ground. Can't be bad anywhere if you're a champion. You have to be good on the ground, on the feet, good cardio, good mental, good everything. So it's not like Grasso's really is. She's not bad anywhere, but Shevchenko should have the edge grappling. So um, Grasso's in her prime right now. This is not prime Valentina. Um, my brain says Grasso. My heart says Valentina. I love Valentina. Valentina's probably one of my top three favorite fighters, man or woman, of all time. Um, so Yeah, like I said, my brain says Grasso. I mean, honestly, I feel like if Valentina wants to win this fight, she's going to have to be grappling heavy. I mean, she has to be taking Grasso down like she was in their first fight. Taking her down when Grasso comes in and tries to box, Valentina has to take her down and grapple with her. Um, and that sounds a little bit crazy knowing that Grasso submitted Valentina, but at the same time, I don't want to say it was a lucky win because it wasn't lucky. I mean, she definitely timed the back take in the submission, but I mean, I feel like Shevchenko just has the grappling edge in this one. I mean, she really does. Um, Grasso should probably be the stronger and faster, definitely the faster fighter. Um, Valentina will have the edge in experience fighting high level fighters. Um, It's going to be interesting to see what's Valentina's game plan for this fight, if she's going to keep it on the feet or try to go for takedowns. Um, Obviously, Grasso's key to winning, probably keeping it a striking battle. I mean, we saw her knock Valentina down her last fight. So, I mean, plus Grasso's always the type of fighter she wants to make it a war, you know. Um, Valentina's key to winning, staying on the outside, keeping a technical fight. Using a lot of kicks, a lot of kicks, and I don't mean like spinning kicks like the one she lost, like what made her lose in the first fight. I'm talking like body kicks, leg kicks, to slow the pressure down from Grasso. Um, Grasso, her key to winning, staying in Valentina's face, putting the pressure on, making Valentina tired, keeping Valentina on the back foot. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna this is a personal pick here. I'm gonna personally pick Valentina, but I mean, I would not be surprised at all if Grasso wins. But I mean, as you see, it's a close fight. Slightly the favorite. I mean, this fight might be a pick 'em. Basically is a pick 'em now, but probably will be a pick 'em come fight night. I think Grasso's moved. Yeah, she's moved to the slight favorite, but should probably be a pick 'em, honestly. I'm rooting for Valentina to get her belt back, but I wouldn't be surprised if Alexa Grasso gets her first title defense here. So, but yeah, it should be a great fight overall. So I'm excited for that one as a Valentina fan, but I'm also kind of a fan of Grasso too. Then we got the main event. Should be a really good fight, honestly. We got O'Malley versus Merab the Machine Dvalishvili. Um, I mean, I remember when this fight first got announced, most people were saying Merab's gonna mess O'Malley, like just dominate O'Malley. And Merab started out as a pretty huge favorite. I think he was, I don't know, like minus 250 or something like that. But now O'Malley's the slight favorite, kind of how it was for the Grasso Valentina fight that's coming up. Um, they've got Merab as a slight underdog, which makes sense. I mean, Sugar's defended the belt, made his first defense against Cheeto. Um, Sean O'Malley would definitely have the striking edge in this fight. And I feel like Merab will definitely, I mean, this is a pretty clear-cut fight. I mean, O'Malley will have the striking edge in this fight, and Merab will have the grappling edge. Merab will be at a 4-inch reach disadvantage and a 5-inch height disadvantage. I mean, everything in this fight plays in favor of O'Malley. He's a striker. He has a 5-inch height advantage, 4-inch reach advantage. Um, he's training with guys like Jared Cannonier, Kyler Phillips, um, Benson Henderson, Alex Caceres, Barberena. So a lot of UFC guys here. Mario Batista, um, McGee, who's really a good prospect. Um, a lot of undercover prospects here. Meredith and Bellator, McMillan, who was supposed to fight on the Contender Series. Um, so O'Malley has good training partners, but I mean, Merab has good training partners too. Chris Weidman, Ally Kinta, former champ, Sterling. So I mean, both have good training partners. Um, um, O'Malley's packed the victory, honestly. I mean, obviously, is strike keeping on the feet, defending Merab's takedowns, and knocking Merab out. That's his key to victory, his path to victory. He has some good wins. I mean, most people would say that he didn't actually beat Peter Yan, but I mean, that was the outcome of the fight. Judges scored the fight for O'Malley, so I guess we have to say O'Malley won. I was there for the Holly and Paiva fight in person. That was my first UFC event ever, in person watching. That was a great fight to watch. It wasn't a close fight, but I mean, it was a good performance from O'Malley. And I was excited to see O'Malley fight in person after I mean, I was watching O'Malley basically since he got in the UFC. I watched his contender fight and every fight, so on, so until Paiva. So I was excited to see O'Malley fight in person. Um, never seen Merab fight in person. But I've watched almost I think every Merab fight in the UFC. I didn't watch the Frankie Saez fight, but I watched the Ricky Simone and so on. So, um, I mean, Rob, all of his wins were coming by dominant decisions. I mean, he just dominates everybody with his grappling. No one can stop his pressure. No one can stop his takedowns. Um, Rob's a fighter that keeps the pressure on his opponent, looking to take them down and just dominate them on the ground, control them on the ground. Um, I mean, I thought he was when he fought Marlon Moraes, man. I thought Moraes had him done, man. He got knocked down like 3 times. And I mean that first left hook that Moraes clipped Merab with. I mean, I don't know how Merab survived that. I think me watching it for the first time when it was going on, I was thinking like I forgot who the ref was in that fight. I think it was Keith Peterson. But whoever it was kept, I mean, I was saying that they were keeping that fight going on for it was gonna be a late stoppage. But the ref never stopped the fight when Merab was hurt. So then he ended up coming back and winning against Moraes. Kind of a boring win over Jose Aldo. I mean, he couldn't take down Aldo, but controlled him on the fence. Peter Yan, pretty much he dominated Peter Yan. And he dominated Cejudo, but I mean Cejudo did clip him just like Moraes did. And when I was watching Cejudo fight Merab, I mean, I was like, when I was watching that fight, I was like, dude, Merab got clipped just like the same exact way against Moraes. And the thing about Moraes, although Peter Yan and Cejudo, I mean, O'Malley definitely has better striking than Cejudo. Like I said, most people wouldn't say that O'Malley beat Peter Yan, but he did. So, and he won the fight on the feet. It's not like he was trying to take Peter Yan down. Um, O'Malley, at this point in his career, has better striking than Jose Aldo, and O'Malley has better striking than Moraes. I mean, all these wins, O'Malley has better striking than them. And the thing is, if Moraes and Cejudo, two guys that were out of their prime, clipped Merab the same way, like literally the exact same sequence, they hit Merab with the same shot. Thing that worries me is that O'Malley should be able to find that same shot. He should be able to find that same shot that had Merab in trouble. In trouble. Merab was in trouble. Maybe not as bad as against Cejudo, but Merab still got clipped with the same exact punch that Moraes hit him with. And if you think that O'Malley can't find that punch, you're crazy. O'Malley's, like I said, height advantage, reach advantage. I mean, in these fights, Merab's getting clipped by guys with the same exact like size, body type as him. I mean, he's the same height and probably same reach as Cejudo. Moraes maybe had like a couple inch reach and height advantage, if even. I don't think he did really, but okay, yeah. So Moraes was actually at a reach disadvantage and clipped Merab coming in. That's the problem with Merab. I mean, when he comes in, it's like reckless abandonment. He does not care to get clipped. I mean, he is a machine. Probably some of the best cardio that I've ever seen out of any fighter. Um, and a great grappler. I mean, he knows how to take people down and keep them there. If they get right back up, he's taking them right back down. So, the thing that worries me in this fight for O'Malley is his takedown defense, and his cardio. I mean, he did prove his last fight that he can go 5 rounds, but he did kind of slow down towards the end of those rounds. Do I think Merab will slow down? No, not at all. I think Merab will keep the pressure and be able to go all 5 rounds. Like Merab can go 10 rounds, really. Um, we've seen Merab not. I don't think I've ever seen Merab honestly get tired at all. Like any of his fights, he just keeps the pressure on and knows how to just walk people down. He doesn't care to eat however many shots he has to get the takedown. But the problem is like I don't know if he can do that with O'Malley, man. Like O'Malley, and I'm not really either a fan of either of these guys, like a huge fan. Um, but at the same time, like I think O'Malley's just like definitely his striking is levels above Merab's levels. Um, if this was like a kickboxing match or whatever, boxing, Muay Thai, whatever, O'Malley would destroy Merab. But if it was a grappling match, strictly grappling, Merab would pretty much destroy O'Malley. So this is classic striker versus grappler here. Merab, his path to victory is definitely by grappling, taking O'Malley down countless times, making him tired. Just doing what he did to Cejudo, just manhandling him really. Um, and same with Peter Yan. I mean, just if Merab wants to win, he just has to keep shooting, shooting, shooting. If his opponent gets back up, if O'Malley gets back up, he has to take O'Malley right back down. That's just how the fight has to play out. If Merab wants to win, he has to just dominate him on the ground like he does everybody else. If O'Malley wants to win, he has to defend no, I mean not every takedown from Merab, but he has to be able to defend, I would say eight out of 10 takedowns coming his way. He has to def for uh every 5 takedowns Merab shoots, O'Malley has to defend 4 of them. If O'Malley's getting taken down like 5 out of 5 times, 4 out of 5 times, probably even 3 out of 5 times that Merab shoots, it's gonna be a long night for O'Malley because I mean I don't think O'Malley definitely hasn't faced a grappler like Merab. I mean obviously Aljo, but I mean it was kind of the same sequence with Aljo and O'Malley that Merab got clipped with against Cejudo and Moraes. I mean, coming in, rushing in. That's what Merab does all of his fights, is rushing in for the takedown. And that looked like what Aljo was trying to do. Like Aljo was trying to rush in to take O'Malley down, and he got clipped bad. Um, but at the same time, Aljo is not Merab, and Merab is not Aljo. So, um, but they do fight out of the same camp. Um, I mean, this is a pretty like clear-cut fight if you ask me, as far as like breaking it down goes. Um, Before my brain would say that Merab's gonna win, strictly due to his grappling prowess, his grappling abilities compared to O'Malley. Um, but I mean, it's not like we've ever really seen O'Malley get in trouble on the ground either. I mean, Peter Yan was trying to take him down, and he did get up pretty like he never really got controlled by Peter Yan too much. And other than that, I mean, no one was really ever to able to take O'Malley down like that. So um, he's been able to keep all of his fights standing up on the feet. I mean, all the guys that he's faced shorter than him with also at a reach disadvantage. So, and he's been able to win usually by knockout. And all those times when his opponents rush in, he catches them. I mean, O'Malley's an underrated striker. I mean, a lot of people say that he's a good striker, but they don't really like understand how good he is. And he understands distance, range, angles, all the things that go into striking. O'Malley is great at it. He knows what he's like. He knows what he's doing. Um, but so does Merab on the ground. I mean, Merab, when it comes to controlling someone on the fence, on the ground, shooting for takedowns, I wouldn't say Merab is the smartest when about entries, and that's what O'Malley's going to have the advantage over is entries, like the distance and the range. I mean, like I said before, my brain, if you asked me maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago how this fight would play out, I would say Merab's just going to take O'Malley down endlessly and just out grapple him in a master class. But I mean, I feel like now Sean, his understanding of distance and range is levels above Merab. I mean, like I said, the thing that scares me about Merab is that he's gotten clipped by in the same way by multiple fighters. Um, and I could see O'Malley clipping him the same way, man. It's like, and that thing with O'Malley though, like when he knocks someone out, like they're out cold. It's not like he needs to follow up. I mean, he followed up with on that one fight with Almeida and put Almeida out cold, out cold. But it's like he I mean, a lot of these guys he's putting them out like bad. And usually the reason why he has to follow up with strikes is because the ref does not stop them. I mean, like he shouldn't have to have hit Aljo with the extra strikes. I mean, Aljo was done. And Paiva, I mean, he pieced up Paiva on the fence. I mean, I've seen O'Malley just use his striking in distance and range too well, compared to Merab. Um, I'm gonna pick O'Malley. I mean, my pick on this fight is, I mean, you see right here, it's from Merab. I'm picking Merab, but like honestly, I think this is like a almost like the Tapology predictions say, like this is like a 70-30 fight for O'Malley. I mean, everything plays into O'Malley's hands. He's the champion. This will be his second defense. If he wins, he already beat one of Merab's teammates who was the champion. Um, he has a huge height advantage, pretty decent reach advantage. Um, yeah, I mean, I mean, my heart says Merab, but my brain definitely says O'Malley. I mean, I could see O'Malley. It should be a close fight, honestly, if Merab's able to know when to enter and when not to enter. Um, if Merab just runs in carelessly like he has sometimes, he's gonna get knocked out bad. He's gonna get knocked out. Um, yeah, but I mean, if O'Malley is able to defend at least some of the takedowns from Merab, and get back up and use his striking, I mean, I could see O'Malley winning by decision, but I mean, if O'Malley wins this fight, it's most likely going to be by knockout. Like Merab is running in and getting clipped and getting knocked out, or Merab just takes O'Malley down for 5 rounds. That's really the two outcomes of this fight. There's only two outcomes of this fight. Merab runs in and gets clipped, or he takes O'Malley down for 5 rounds and out wrestles him. That's what it's going to be. Those are the only two outcomes of this fight. Um, so kind of a personal pick here, I guess, me picking Merab. Um, but I mean, my brain definitely says O'Malley here. Like O'Malley, he's just gonna clip him, dude. And it's I don't know if Merab will be able to um take the power of of O'Malley, especially if like let's say O'Malley catches him one time and hurts Merab, and Merab is able to recover. How many more times is Merab going to be able to get clipped in the same fight? I mean, especially thing about O'Malley's underrated about him is his ability to finish fights. Like we've seen him rock opponents, and the ref doesn't stop it. He's able to follow up with a good ground and pound to finish the fight. Um, yeah, I mean, like, but we've seen him. He sparked Eddie Wineland. He sparked them bad. Um, kind of like he sparked Aljo. Didn't need to follow up really in that fight. Sparked Almeida. Didn't need to give that one follow-up punch. Like he's like really sparking people. And I could see him sparking Marab kind of easily. But I mean close fight as the odd makers say, it's O'Malley's slightly gonna win. Um and I feel like their quality of wins is almost even. I mean, Marab's beat like what, four former champs? One, two, three. Okay, so three former champs. Um yeah, three former champion wins for Marab. How many does O'Malley have? Two former champs. Um, yeah, okay, so I mean, breakdown of this fight is pretty easy. O'Malley's striking advantage, Merab grappling advantage. Um, Path to victory for Sean O'Malley, keeping it on the feet, using his range, his distance, catch Merab coming in. Um, Key for Merab, using the grappling heavy, pressuring, keeping O'Malley on the back foot, not letting O'Malley get his strikes off. Keep O'Malley's back towards the fence. When O'Malley's back is towards the fence, he can't move. He has no room to move. And that's when Merab can get takedowns without getting caught. But if Merab's just shooting in the open, I could see him getting caught and getting knocked out. Um, yeah, so Merab's path to victory is grappling heavy, pressure, uh, key for O'Malley, distance, range, um, technicality, and just using O'Malley. O'Malley has to use his brain. If O'Malley plays dumb and wants to make it a war, just stand there in front of Merab. Merab's going to take him down easily, and keep him there. If Merab gets takedowns and on the open mat, it's going to be hard for O'Malley to get back up. But if O'Malley's on the fence, um, has something to, kind of negate the submission offense of Merab because Merab won't be able to get submissions on the fence. Um, O'Malley should be able to get back up. But yeah, I'm personal pick, I guess, somewhat of a personal pick. I'm just picking Merab kind of just for fun. Um, but my brain definitely says O'Malley's gonna win. Um, yeah, so I'll take Sean O'Malley here. Uh by knockout. Just by knockout, honestly. If O'Malley can does get the win by decision, it's just because Merab is unfinishable, really. Like his cardio, Merab's cardio is just another level. But I could see O'Malley definitely winning by knockout, definitely winning by knockout or decision, one of the two. If Merab gonna win, it's gonna be by decision. So, but I'll take him. My pick is O'Malley by knockout.